Welcome everyone, and today we're going to create a planter bed with rocks, terrain and some grass along with some additional plants. So let's get started on the tutorial. I've got a new and blank world here. First of all, let's see how and from where you can get this. Here's some of the textures that I used, like terrain, rocks, and these leaves and grass blades. It's simple. For rocks, you can go to ambientcg.com and download any texture you want. And for the other assets, you could just go to Sketchfab and download any rock that you like. Now getting the assets from here will be helpful because they will already have baked textures. For my assets, I've baked the textures myself. So if you want, you can take that route as well. And for things like leaves and grass blades, textureninja.com is a very great place, and AmbientCG is too, so you can find almost any type of plant, flower or something like that. And on here you can find the same. So just feel free to download any of them and experiment. Now that we have everything in place, let's get started. First, I'm going to enable properties, and there you will have all of your properties set up. Here we have the node of the tree. On the right hand side, this is where you're going to put your textures. I click on the tree, add zone, and now we're going to replace a terrain mesh on this. Go to skin to enable mesh, and now go to mesh, add a mesh, and here I've already created a terrain in Blender, so you can do the same. And I will be going to put textures on it too. Here I've created folders for all the textures I'll need. Let's add terrain. It's a simple texture with albedo displacement, normal map and roughness, like any other texture set. So add your textures, albedo, and this will automatically fetch all the other maps. So now put your textures in mesh on here. Here we will have our terrain. Go to gen, scroll down, and here in sync put -2. This will alleviate your terrain. Now you have to place a rock on here. Go to tree, then right click and import another zone. This is the place where you're going to be placing your rock. So just import the rock, mesh, and the textures for it too. I've got a texture for the rock. Now I will manually put where the texture goes. height to displacement, and gloss will be having a roughness map. Here we have it. From here you can change the name of the textures. Just do that to make sure it's easier for you to recognize those textures. Go to the zone and let's replace it with the rock. Don't enable use axis size because we will have to put the size manually in. So for me, 160 will do. Right now it's looking very big, so we'll have to put almost 80% of it underground. So select the rock, press W and pull it down and take your time to place it where you find it best. I've left some space for the plants too. So before going further, we should import the textures for the grass that I've created. Or just downloaded 3 of the textures. You can just put how much ever you want. So first one will automatically fetch all the textures. So I will name it grass 1. Let's import. This is grass 2. This one I have to manually import. AO to AO, height to displacement, and gloss to roughness. Now change the name to grass 2 and create another one for grass 3. Just take your time and don't rush the process. Normal to normal, height to displacement, and gloss will go to roughness. Now change this to grass 3, go to grass 1, check two-sided and create a mesh. I'm going to do this one for now. Take your time and do this for all of the other grass textures too. And now we're done with all of the grass textures. Go to the zone, select the one with the terrain. Now this will show you a yellow outline, so you'll know what you've selected. Click on the zone and add another one. You can go to placement and increase the size to around 75 or around 70 will do. Now press W to enable gizmo. And you can place it anywhere you want. This shows the area where a grass, patch or any plant you want to put in this will grow. I will not be able to go out of it. So make sure that you know this beforehand. Now I'm going to add a trunk and in Gen increase it to around 52. Something like that. And increase the first and the last and just spread to your liking. Now go to spine and increase the size to 30. We'll have to change the angle and all, but first you have to go to skin and change the cure to make the grass. Or the trunk thin. Don't worry, this will be hidden, so it won't be affecting that much. Now go to spine, orientation, that can stay the same, and here we're going to put 0.1. Scroll down, go to gravity and 0.13 will do. This will make sure that each of these trunks have some little variation. Go to ancestors and put 0.06. Yeah, something like that. Now we need to add some twigs to our grass. Now go to Gen and set frequency to 0.35. This will get rid of most of the twigs and leave you with only a few. So increase the count to 5. Now scroll down and make the first and last of the bound to 0. Now select the last one and change to 0.001, just so it can be on the bottom. Go to spine and change the parent to 0.8. Yeah, that'll be good. Now scroll down to orientation, set that to 0.1 and gravity to 0.33. You could decrease this a bit, I think. That was a bit too much. So I'm thinking 0.1 will do. you can go in curve and change its shape a bit. Now the next thing that you have to do is to add fronds on both trunk and twig. So right click on the trunk, add frond, and right click on the twig and add frond here too. Now for this one we have to add the third grass that we created earlier. So just drag and drop our grass textures here. For twigs, we have to go to skin and change the polygon to spine only in both. Now these look a bit wide, so go to frond, geometry, scroll down and scale width 2.8. For the next step, you just have to copy what you just created and paste them 3 more times. Right now we've got one of our patches created, but I believe we have to make some tweaks to it. So I'm going to touch some of the parameters in here. For this one, I don't think we need to change this. So double click on it. Make this smaller. Open the second one by double clicking and go to the trunk, and then we have to change some of the parameters in here. Now we have to change the boundaries here so we can distribute the grass a bit more spread. And we need to change our textures too, so click on frond, go to grass one. I think this will look good on hair too. So select the grass one, hair too. Yeah. Hide it and open the third one and go to gen, change the boundaries for it too. You can change sweep and roll too to bring more randomness to it. This is to make it look like, don't make them bunch up in a spot, so it's just to introduce more scatter to it. Now go to frond and change the texture to grass so we can randomize and make our grass look natural. Over here I see a patch of grass where it should be a bit more grass. So select the first one and go to Gen, change the boundaries. Do this according to your liking and what you think will fit the best. For me, I think this will do. Now we are done with our first batch of grass. So we will duplicate it 4 more times in total to make more of these patches. So select all of it and then duplicate 3 more times. Pick the zone and just drag and drop it into the first zone. Now double click on the zone to minimize it. So it gives us more clarity to work with one at a time. Double click on the one that you want to work on and press W. Now you can move it around and place it wherever you want it. I will now spread them apart. Let's work on this one for now. Here we have to change some parameters. Go to the first one. Now second and third blade of grass. Go to the trunk 4. Now we have to change the amount of blades that go around it. $35 on the first one. Second one can be around 58. And that third, make it to 25. Now pick the one with the number of highest grass blades. Go to Gen, change the first two around 0.06. And last to 2.6. With the first one and change the first and last on it too. I do the same with the third one. Something like that. Let's change the light direction a bit now so we can see better. I am very happy with it, so I'm going to put it here. And we're going to start working on the third one. Go to the first trunk and on the third one and change it to 11. We had to create this one a bit smaller, so we had to decrease the amount too. This can be 15, and the third one can be around 10. Change the first and the last on here to your liking. I'm doing this so it feels a bit more natural. So I'm okay with this one too. Just place it around here. And now let's work with the last one. Go to the first on here and you have to change it the same as before. 11, 15 and 10. And then now change the first and the last of the boundaries on here too. Something around this might do. You can also change the roll and sweep to your liking on this. Now I'm pretty happy with the results so far. And now we have to create plants like these. For this, we need to create another zone in here. We go to placement, increase the radius to 75 and add trunk in the middle of it. Now you have to go to spine and increase the size to 30. Go to skin and set the absolute to 4 and change the curve to something like that. Now we have to add some twigs, so go to Gen and change the frequency to 0.4. And count to 12. Scroll down the boundaries and first to 0 and last to 0.001. Go to spine and increase the length to 49 and parent to around 0.6. Now you need to scroll down to orientation and set it to around 0.2 and set the gravity to around 0.07. Now you need to duplicate and add this to the trunk. Scroll up, change the absolute to 60, go to the twig, 13 and change this to around 49. Now go back to the 15th and scroll down and change the orientation to point 315. And set the gravity to around 0.12. Go to Gen, change the spiral and spread just a bit. So it has to be just a little bit, not too much for both. Now go to skin so we can change the visibility. Now change it to spine only for all three of them. Now we have to add frond to both of these, and I have to replace these fronds with textures. So let's add some textures. I've already downloaded these 3 textures, so we're going to be using them. Leaf 1 now and adding leaf 2. And change the name to leaf 1 and 2. Now adding the third one. Now this will automatically fetch all the necessary textures and we're done with it. Just make sure to check two-sided. Now let's create a mesh for all 3 of them. Just copy what I've done here. You just need to follow these steps as is, so you don't need to overcomplicate things. Just create a simple mesh, something like that. Now add one more and create one for this. Go to leaf 2 now and try to make sure to add a whole leaf in one mesh. Now go to the third one and do the same. Add the second one. Now that we're done with our textures, let's put them on one by one. Go to the leaf first and put your textures on here. Now you have to duplicate this 2 more times. You just need to change the placement and something like this for the first one. For the second one, I think it should be here. And for the third one, should be around somewhere here. Now let's change this one to leaf 2. And this one to leaf 3. And we are almost done now. Now I'm changing the location to something like this. Here we've got a plant bed or a small garden. Now you can choose any location that you want, basically depends on your need, but this is how it's going to look once it's placed in an environment. I hope you had fun watching this tutorial and see you again for another tutorial next time. Cheers. Time.